Hello again, and this is going to be part 3 to my Let's Play series. Um, I just finished challenge mode with Mirova, and it was not that easy, even though I thought that the Viking run was going to be easy. Now, I just like to say that there are two types of runs. Previously, I wasn't sure as to what the other type was or how to do the other type because so far I've only been doing leader focus runs or what I'd like to call as LF runs, whereas the point of the run is to increase or to maximize the efficiency of the leaders so that they will function well during battle. Now, um, this is kind of like a similar run, except uh, it's more focused on the monsters, whereas it's kind of more difficult too because you have to make sure that your monsters end up not dying at the end of the match. So it's kind of more stressful, so to speak. So it's a monster focused and leader focused runs. So those are the two types of runs in Brigandine. Challenge runs that I'd like to say. Um, the latter is more difficult, kinda. So I want to explain more about the MF run or the monster focus run. Uh, so first you pick a monster. Now mostly in monster focus runs you want to make sure that the monster you pick doesn't die. And the best thing I could think of in achieving that goal is to have mana miracles. Now if you are not aware, mana miracles are monsters summoned that are blue, have this blue icon. Is that a diamond or a sparkly thingy? So, like as it says here on the profile, uh, has a chance of transforming into mana miracle form immediately after being summoned. This form contains more mana than usual, giving the monster a pale glow and raising its stats. Now, a non mana miracle goblin, as you can see, has these stats like 90. I actually lost a mana miracle goblin. Yeah, I lost one mana miracle goblin. That's fine. The point is to make sure you don't lose too much. So the stats of a mana miracle goblin is significantly higher than a non mana miracle goblin. So this carries on to its final form, which is the shadow goblin. So I'd like to read the profile of a shadow goblin. A goblin's like new form following a clash range. The uncanny glow of its sword eats away at the life force of whatever it slays. It learns an attack that indirectly paralyzes enemies after moving, allowing it to break up enemy formation. An improved critical rate allows for higher certainty in inflicting status conditions that will easily throw enemy lines into confusion. So it has really good stats overall. Although I'm kind of worried when I face Rudo. For Rudo, one hits or one shots almost anything, especially if it's a squishy hero, and in this case, Shadow Goblins are especially squishy. But that's something I have to worry about for another day. Right now, I want to talk about the Goblin. Now, Mana Miracles, when you summon them, they have a small percentage, very small, to come into being. Now, this small percentage is further decreased the higher the cost of the monster is. So, if you want to get a mana miracle of a dragon, that's a 1% chance because it's really high, 75. Angels, demons, dragons, mandrakes, all of those take a really long time um, to mana miracleize, or to summon a mana miracle version of those monsters. So in contrast, monsters like ghouls that only cost 15, or gremlins, I mean imps, the evolution of a gremlin, and goblins have a higher chance for a mana miracle. So in that sense, I picked a goblin because it's actually easier to get a mana miracle version. Like the most I, the most times I need to summon before I get one is like 10 to 15, and that's like the higher end of the spectrum. Whereas you at 5 or 7, you can most definitely get one with just a few save and loads. So because of that, I picked the Shadow Goblin for this monster focus run. Now, secondly, when you do a monster focus run, you need to pick a leader that can complement your monster. In this case, I picked the Sorcerer. Why? Because sorcerers have this spell called Weakness. Now, what Weakness does is it lowers the attack and defense of a single enemy. And now imagine lowering the attack and defense of one enemy and then letting your shadow goblins just pelt it with ranged attacks known as despair waves or Abaddon waves or Reaper waves, okay? So it's going to melt any enemy no matter what that enemy may be. Most especially because we've got Mana Miracle Goblins that hurt a little more. So that's why I'm doing this run. And I might come up with new monster focused runs in the future, but right now the Goblin is kind of my last so far because I'm doing this in conjunction with completing the challenge runs per nation, and I've done everything but Norzaleo. For some reason, I didn't know until I went to the record option, the record uh, tab of the title screen, the record section, and found out that there is an event um, slot for each nation that you finish challenge mode with. Since I've already achieved the highest score so far of 35,000 plus, I don't need to focus on that. And yes, monster focus runs are slightly not optimal in the sense that it's not going to give you a high strategy score because you're going to need to train your monsters. And in order to do that, you need to spend a considerable amount of time of training them, as well as your leader that is in need that is needed in the strat. So because of that, my score is pretty low, 5,258 at turn 3. So it's not something you want to use when you want to go for an optimal run. It's definitely not something you want to solo against enemies with because most of the time your goblins are going to perish without a really well balanced team to keep them alive. So now, with that said, I want to discuss the pros and cons of a monster focused run, which I think I just did. Now, one of the pros, if I haven't mentioned it, is that it's slightly more fun than leader focused run because you have to deal with a lot of monsters, and it's nice to see a lot of mana miracles just being let loose on the battlefield. And in that sense, I've had some videos and some strats that I came up with. One is to use a shadow goblin and a gremlin to lure the enemy from where they are camping. And like the AI, when you attack the AI, usually they just camp and defend and just stay where they are. But if you manage to put a shadow goblin in there to attack them with a shadow goblin and a gremlin, so basically the gremlin cast to react on the shadow goblin, he does his Abaddon Wave, which is a move you can do while moving or after moving. So, and then use the react chain reaction to move back, basically to poke them, and then run all the way back to base. The enemies will actually follow you all the way to where your enemy troops are. Problem with that strat is it takes a lot of time, so it needs a lot of preparation. And you know that you only have 12 turns to finish a match, so you really need to be careful on that. So this the strat that I'm coming up with might include a Bahamut and multiple gremlins to use react on the priest, so he can cast Axel on both the gremlin and the shadow goblin, so that they'll be able to finish their luring within just a few turns. But that's something I'm still considering. So you can come up with little gimmicks like that with a monster focused run that you can otherwise come up with your focus on the leader. Now, the cons that I'm going to discuss, yes, because it's a monster focused run, the leaders are going to be lower leveled most of the time. As you can see, I have a level 20 here, and my leaders are usually below that level. 19 being the highest for this base, and my highest leader, because he's been soloing a lot of defenses, is 27. That's still a huge difference, and the only reason why she's getting those levels is because she's soloing while the others are questing, training their goblins. Now, I'm about at 3 seasons left before the victory conditions are over, so now I have to start fighting. And I'm going to get to that in a second. I'm just doing last minute checks to make sure that everything is copacetic or in order. So I'm not going to be attacking, I'm going to be defending, just making sure I have the units where they need to be. And with that said, let's proceed. 7 units here, I think that would be fine. Although I'm pretty sure I wanted it to be 9. And here we've got 6 units. Hmm. I think that's fine actually. Let's start. Hopefully we get something good. Didn't get anything good, so we're going to be loading. Hopefully I get this in the first 3 tries. I wonder if revival stone's enough. I think I'm gonna go with that. I kinda need to revive the goblin that died anyway. So now we're reviving the goblin knight that died. Giving it to him. Hopefully he won't die this time. It's actually pretty low in stats. Although he has high intelligence for some reason. That's weird. What does he excel in? Just intelligence? Oh, he's probably gonna have high mana when I evolve him to a shadow goblin. I mean high MP. Pretty much useless at the moment. So before we start the fight, we need to quest them a bit. So we just need 9 people. And to that end, we need to spread across the units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I want the Temple Knight to be. Who's the strongest Temple Knight? Because it would be obviously Skymarius. Skymarius or Cymarius. Doesn't matter. Let's give her some Goblin Knights. Let's give her like 3. I think that's enough. I think that's enough. And how about her? Because this is going to be a Goblin Knight later, so that's okay. This one definitely needs to share his Goblin Knights. I guess to her, to Ray, probably. Because you have to also consider the mana pool left, um, for when they evolve. You need to consider the it becomes higher later on. Definitely. This one also, it's gonna go up considerably. That's a well balanced team, if I do say so myself. For the for Selena, she really doesn't need more mana pool because all her units are already top tier. So that's something you don't have to worry about, or I don't have to worry about, rather. We do the same for this. Now his units are not like um, all top tier. This is still going to be a Mr. Golem, this is going to be a Shadow Goblin, and this is going to be a Lizard Lord. So in that sense, we need to spread out his 4, 5, 6, his units definitely. So Shadow Goblins. I think that's enough. Yeah, that's enough. Now this one. Hmm. Oh, this one looks good. Kinda, but not quite. But no, no, no. This is good. This is gonna be a Mr. Golem, and let's let's give him a Shadow Goblin. There we go. Shadow Goblins for everyone. Or Goblin Knight. There's going to be a Shadow Goblin later. So that's fine. Gonna be helpful for when he is defending. Let's save. Before everything might go wrong. Only 2 seasons left, so I really need to not fuck up. Since one will be. Who will AFK? I guess, yeah. I just need 9. So the one who is not going to be attacking, she can do some questing on her own. Now let us begin. Hopefully, and what's best about this game is you can save. You can save and load anytime you want, or load and autosave if things go south. We're gonna check the. You actually need to get Zagust because this is where you get daggers from the questing. So we're going to look into that right now. And I might put my main unit or the prince there. And of course, he's going to be facing um, the annoying Aurora. It'll be very helpful if we could fight that with our strongest units. The problem here is we don't have a lot of support units. So hopefully that will go well. The next one, I guess, there's only 2 places to attack. We have to fight against Gustav. Gustav's on his last leg, sadly, but we really don't care that much. He doesn't have any mana miracle, so it's not. But he's got a level 18 archer, Ratka. Oh, I hope that she joins my team after I defeat him. If she doesn't, it's fine. Now this is the slightly more difficult part. So I'm guessing Elena is over here. Or Elisa, sorry. So I can't attack 4 times because it's going to leave my base defenseless. So I can only attack twice and leave 1 to defend. So since it's gonna be difficult. Let's let the Temple Knight do some stuff. Let's let Sugar in on the action as well. So, now 3 people will attack the others and 3 people will leave to defend. Right, so let's go. Moon and Shimayo. So yeah, since I haven't mentioned this in my previous videos, just like to point out the pronunciation of the game is Brigandine. One of the very few pronunciations that I got right before the game itself told me the right pronunciation. Yes, the game itself will tell you that it's pronounced as Brigandine by way of the voice actors during the cutscenes. So Brigandine, not Brigandine, as people call it. Mm-hmm. Let's see now. All in all, it's not that scary, except for one Phoenix, and that's about it. Siren and Cyclops will be able to deal with. So let's start the fight. Mm-hmm. I'm just winging it at the moment, not really focusing too much. Guess I have confidence on my units, right, Mr. Pink Schmiggles? So now, like, I don't want to end it as soon as possible, but at the same time, I don't want to kill my units. So we have to strike a balance. Didn't get a proc there, that's fine. She smells death, apparently. I'm worried about my Fenrir. Oh, he got stunned. That's fine. I can always unstun him. But I have to make sure that doing so, hmm, would be beneficial. Can I do area heal on my units? Nah, not yet. So this is similar to the strat, except the monster will be starting it off. We prioritize on monsters that are more of a threat. Since I don't really need to use a lot of mana, that will be enough. Now we can decide whether hmm who's the highest level unit here? Because I'm gonna put this guy in the back so he doesn't get killed. So now I can use my first chain reaction on this guy. Second chain reaction would be for her. They're all kind of low. Luckily it hit. Hopefully I get some agi rolls. Yeah, this one's gonna die. I have to put him back. This one was in range. No, he isn't, so it's fine. Now that he's paralyzed, we can go in for the kill. Yeah, let's let her tank. Oh, it missed. That's fine. We need to make sure that the units are out of range so they don't get attacked by flame. That went well. So still no units died. So that's a good start. We can now focus on either healing or finishing this one off. Now I can cast Protect on her. Because they don't have enough mana to do anything else. And I can do a silence attempt, which won't. Oh, 13% went through. That's kind of weird, but okay. I'll take it. I've got a ton of mana, and I think now is the chance to use my area heal. As you can see, that was a really good mana heal. Oh, this one got healed as well, I guess. Yeah, the main focus is of course the leader. But we could also focus on this one. Or the Hydra. We can also focus on the Hydra. He still has one more cast, so I think it's fine. But this one's level 8. Hmm. Da-da. Yep, my mind's made up. I'm going for this. We can actually let him go to the base to recover. And see if it will lure the others. We need to determine who is the immediate threat. In this case, since he's paralyzed, it's no longer a threat for the next turn. We can now focus on this dragon. So now he's no longer a threat. Wait. Sorry about that. Just got my food. So now this guy is no longer a threat. We can move on to this unit. So far, it's been going really well. I can cast resist on her so she doesn't die. And I'll just heal her in the next turn. So nobody died, so that was a win. So now I think it's best to heal her, but let's heal everybody instead. So here's the last move. Need to focus on the immediate threats, so I think the dragon needs to go down. These guys need. It's fine for them to be on standby. He healed after the turn ended, so that's pretty cool. Decisions. Do I heal or do I damage? I think I'm going for a heal. I can begin my assault on the mage. I'd go near, but I'm still I have to check our mana pool. It's still a lot, so she can still cast flame, which I don't wanna like worry about at the moment. But since he's paralyzed, I can focus on the other dragon. Who is dead. Now he's no longer a threat as well. Since I don't want her to do too much damage, I will lower her magic power, as well as magic resistance. So the other threat is this Phoenix. It is no longer a threat. So now I can decide who to kill or to significantly damage. So that's fine. I can go closer because her magic level went down. Okay, that's enough. So that's basically how a monster focus run is carried across or maybe strategized. So you try to focus so that your units don't die. And that's more stressful than the leader focus units where you just focus on killing and getting levels. So if you're bored of doing LF runs or leader focus runs, go ahead and do monster focus runs and vice versa. And that's enough for me. I think that will be my last part of to the series. No one's gonna be watching them anyway. So see you guys, and thanks for watching. If you kinda did, bye bye.